Previously on Outback Rangers. Extreme temperatures of the build-up season takes its toll on the crew.
It's like a big oven up here.
Do you feel like going on, or do you want to go back?
In this episode,
Big deep one here.
It is.
Rangers continue their quest to find and protect national treasures. And a storm cloud signal an approaching monsoon. It spells not just a blessing, but also potential for trouble. For the crew, it's just the calm before the storm. The escarpment country of Jim Jim District, home to some of Australia's most important cultural artifacts, rock art. Cultural officer Gabrielle O'Loughlin, Jim Jim head ranger Kathy Wilson, and traditional owner and ranger Jeffrey Lee are on an expedition to locate rock art sites. Kakadu's rock art is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage, and rangers must protect it. In this harsh landscape, fires are a big threat, so the team has to clear the bush around the area, or else the art could be destroyed. Temperatures are hitting 40 degrees, and Ranger Josh Taylor is taking all precautions to avoid getting sunstroke.
Pull them down before it gets too hot. It's gonna be a long day. Wrong time of the year, but it's gotta be done.
Could be rubbing up against the art, or could be a...
Jeff takes the team deeper into the country to track down the site. But the further they go, the tougher it gets.
Big deep one here.
It is. How deep is it?
Yeah.
It's wet feet time, everyone. We've got to walk through some water.
Yeah, right, am I right?
Ben, that's a deep one. It's really hard to do this rock art work. It's incredibly rugged terrain, broken up sandstone, quartzite. You've got pinnacles of rocks and gorges and creeks.
Hours pass with nothing in sight. All Jeff can rely on is his instinct, based on years of living in the bush. But even then, there is no guarantee.
We sort of find a little boulder like this, and that's mainly where you find rock art. I'm gonna go over here. But this is where all that pinnacle gets roughed now. You know, look underneath. Any painting there?
Nothing. Can't see anything here.
It's a tough blow for the team.
Sometimes it's quite deceptive. You think there's going to be rock art because there's nice overhangs, but then you get close and there's nothing there. Anything?
Nothing.
We're here. We haven't found anything yet. We're pretty broken. Yeah.
Just then, Josh spots something.
There's something here, look. There. Hey!
Yo!
Got him.
I think he's just found some art.
Mark him.
Kakadu's rock art represents the longest historical record of any group of people in the world. It's testament to tens of thousands of years of Aboriginal culture on the land.
Rock art, you know, it makes me cry. I just break down. And I think back, our culture always been with us.
Well, this is a barramundi.
It's interesting because it's not actually a fish we find in the creeks up the top here, is it?
Barramundi and Jim Jim Falls down the bottom.
So you'd have to get down that escarpment country, wouldn't you? Because Sometimes the simple figures just depict a story straight away, so you can just capture what was happening at that time.
For traditional owners like Jeff Lee, it's a discovery that evokes a deep spiritual connection to his ancestors.
Our people's spirit still lives. You can feel it. They're there. They're watching you. You're walking around country, they're watching you and me. Yeah, I get that goosebump. And I know. And that makes me feel really, really proud and really, really happy that my ancestors are looking over our shoulder.
And it's incredible, the art. What is that? It's got a gorgeous long neck, the beak, the hair, and the long legs. That's a lovely drawing.
Being Brolga.
Brolga.
That Brolga, yeah? Yeah, that Brolga. Yeah, you can see that. Hardcore Brolga.
Some of Kakadu's rock art is thought to be up to 20,000 years old. They bear witness to ancient ways of life and also to vanished species.
We have megafauna depicted in the art. There's a long-beaked echidna that no longer exists. And there's a very large kangaroo that used to roam the country, and there are paintings here. So you can go check records, fossil records, to say how old the art might be.
After documenting the art, the team clears the area of potential fire hazards.
I've been here with that old man now.
It's been a long yet fulfilling morning for the crew. For another team, their day is just about to begin. February in Kakadu. Scattered showers during the Gunameleng season signal the approaching monsoon. Water will soon engulf the floodplains, nourishing all of the park's wildlife. For some, it's a season of anticipation. For others, it's also a time of preparation. Kale's Crossing, the only road linking Kakadu and Arnhem Land. "50 vehicles cross here every day, but as the water starts to rise, so do the risks. Rangers Matt Dunn and Annie Taylor are on the scene to check if the rising water has reached a dangerous level.
One of the biggest issues we've got in terms of visitor safety is water crossings, people crossing at the wrong time, wrong vehicles, not experienced in water crossings, not confident in the vehicles they're in and the depth of the water when they do the crossing. But the other thing too is you can clearly see that the croc risk is here, it's evident.
The crossing will soon be closed off during the wet season, causing many to brave the currents now.
You're not here, don't pretend you're not here. I was trying to get him and he wasn't stopping. Just a bit risky. A big vehicle like that with such a big surface area, there's too much current, they can get washed off. You see the crocs working here. Yeah, it's just a safety risk, and we've got to either try and get the vehicle in to get them out or try and throw a boat straight in, and sometimes to be able to go back, get a boat, put it in, can take sort of half an hour to 45 minutes of them sitting in their car, croc-infested waters, so it's just risky.
With no mobile phone reception in the area, help could be hours away for stranded drivers.
Long vehicle could be in trouble going through this water, but sort of once it gets up around 500 and above, that 800, 900 mark is probably the mark where people start getting washed off, because it's the sheer volume of water coming across here. It's just risky, and people put themselves in that situation. Inevitably someone's going to get washed off.
For now, the water isn't at its most dangerous level, but it's only a matter of time. As the water levels rise across many parts of Kakadu, saltwater crocs will soon be able to move from the tidal rivers into the park's vast floodplains. To better manage the safety of visitors, rangers must understand the crocs' movements. Park headquarters. Croc management expert Gary Lidner is monitoring a croc he tagged some weeks back.
Give it a... He's on, Billy. Yep.
Brand new white mould with an aerial, and this one's just distinct. We've called this Crocodile Nigel, and where we captured the croc on the night, he was by himself. Well, Nigel's got plenty of other crocs around him, but whether they want to know him or not's another thing. So yeah, we're very excited to see where Nigel goes, see if he's got any friends. And yeah.
During the coming wet season, Gary will gather crucial intel on Nigel's movements. As a croc management expert, Gary's interested in human-croc interaction on so many levels, especially when another event is underway, crocodile nesting season. From December to March each year, female crocs build nests along the rivers. Their protective instinct leads them to keep a watchful eye from an imminent threat. Salty hides are the most valuable in the world. Crocodiles are farmed from eggs collected in the wild and their skins sold to the fashion industry. With a permit, croc egg collecting is perfectly legal, but not in Kakadu. Here, it's off limits. Still, the park's protected breeding grounds attract its share of poachers. During this busy season, it's Gary's duty to monitor the situation. He's joined by compliance manager Andrew Wellings. The South Alligator River is their target. They need to scan the riverbanks for croc nests.
There's got to be a nest, eh? There.
Looks like a bit of a cleared area.
That one?
Within minutes, they spot one.
There is.
Yeah. Good nest, eh?
Yeah, that's a ripper.
Gary and Andrew need to check if the nest has been raided. If it has, it will mean that poachers are on the prowl.
Just keep an eye out. Mum might come running out shortly.
Mother crocs are both highly protective and territorial. They're known to attack anything that comes near their eggs.
You're loaded, are you?
That's what Mum's up to.
Yeah, just whack the grass a bit, Andrew, try and see if you can flush her out. I'll just keep her in gear up against the bank.
Yeah, that's good, because I might want to get back on board quickly.
It's pretty dangerous. We're trying to work out where the female is. She might have already gone under a tree up there, but she might also charge.
There's a fresh track at the back down here.
Okay. Any sign of her?
Nah, looks all right, Gary. There's no wallow or nothing.
Yeah, I can smell her. I reckon she's in the water here.
Yeah.
There. That's Mum right there.
Yeah. Oh, bugger. Oh.
Even though she's a bit wary, she's also very interested in what we're doing with her nest.
Yeah.
We've seen her now, so we know where she is.
Yeah.
But she's seen us, which sort of...
Yeah, she's had a good look at us, good size up of us.
Well, she's gone down, so Andrew's going to be on full alert, because she could do a full charge up the bank and have a snap. So we'll do a quick nest inspection and get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see here, she's laid a good clutch of eggs. We'll GPS it as well.
We do monitor our nests across the park. You know, there's lots of temptation by some people to raid nests. If each egg's worth, you know, 25 to 50 bucks each, taking the eggs out of this nest could be pretty profitable.
You just land here with a helicopter, open the nest up, rip the eggs out, and then you're gone. But it's a high-risk sort of activity.
And there's significant penalties. You can fine, maybe even jail. So it's nothing light. It's a big game.
Fortunately, the nest hasn't been raided yet. But poachers aren't the only problem.
I see a number of eggs here that have already died, probably from heat stress. See the brown ones here, like, that's a dead egg, that one.
bad news for Mother Croc. Already, out of each clutch of eggs, less than 1% will make it to maturity in the wild.
And things happen. If a croc survives out of its nest, it might grow into a 16-footer one day or a 3-metre female. But it's got to run the gauntlet of life to get to that stage. And once a croc gets pretty big, it's well and truly earned its right to be, you know, a boss croc.
And Mum will do everything she can to give them that chance.
You can see here, she'll stay on this nest for about 3 months. They'll start making a noise from within the egg, and the mother will dig the nest out, and the young will hatch, and they'll stay with Mum for, you know, a couple of months or more. So she's pretty protective even after birth. She's looking now.
Yeah, we might as well get going.
All right, let's go.
A thunderstorm is brewing on the horizon, so rangers call it a day.
Ah, beautiful day. That's what we've been after for a while, eh? Oh, well. We got enough money to buy raincoats this year, or what? Nah. Starting back to garbage bags.
Garbage
Good old
bags.
days.
Oh, another day at work. Different time of year.
The irregular rains are pushing humidity levels sky high. In Jim Jim district, 70 kilometers away, naturalist Ian Morris is out conducting a survey. It's a great time to study how the park's wildlife is changing in this transitional season.
It's about 100% humidity, just the way we like it, really. We've had a few teasing storms that have dropped a few millimetres of rain here and there. Nothing substantial as yet, but that's enough to sort of excite everything.
Turns out, the build-up season creates the perfect conditions for some species to flourish.
These Drinaria ferns are a good example of plants that respond to increase in the build-up. They've probably got little timers in them. They probably don't need to have any rain, but at this particular time of the year, Gunamaling, rain or no rain, off they go. It's a whole sort of expectation, anticipation season. Yeah, what happens in the insect world when you get the rise in the humidity, as we got a week or two back, is that they're free to get out and do stuff.
Kakadu is home to over 10,000 insect species. For one of them, it's an ideal time for some home improvements.
What we have here, this is a termite mound, one of about 30-odd species that we get in this area. This time of year, when the rain comes, the first showers soak into the ground, the moisture penetrates, the termites underground collect that damp soil and bring it up. They'll build an area that size on top of their mound.
These mounds help control airflow and temperature in the extensive network of underground tunnels.
Maybe a week later, they'll do another slab somewhere else and another slab, and slowly the mound grows to its full height. And that might take 50 years.
With the ability to grow up to 6 meters, these expanding mounds are Mother Nature's way of saying monsoon is coming. With torrential storms due to arrive any day now, rangers must prepare the park for the coming deluge. East Alligator District. Rangers Matt Dunn and Annie Taylor have their hands full. The roads here act as vital gateways to popular tourist spots and campgrounds. But during the wet season, they become prone to severe flooding, making them impassable. To prevent this from happening, rangers must carry out regular maintenance work on the roads.
Yeah, well, this time of year, we're sort of transitioning to our weed season. When the rain does come in, here we've got a lot of sites we've got to start getting access to, so it's going to be cart and gravel up and back to put on some of these boggy spots so we can hopefully get access all wet season.
They must increase the elevation of the roads so vehicles can still pass through.
Out in this district of East Alligator, the wet season can become a bit of a challenge. Today we've got the Magilla and the S-bends which come up and flood and basically lock us in for the wet season. and need to get boats down here to be able to get access over to Jabiru. And then 20 kilometres this way, and obviously we've got Kale's Crossing, and that itself is a bit more of a dangerous river system. It's got a lot more flow, and when that water comes up, that's when we'll get people starting to get washed off the crossing, which can present a huge safety risk. The wet season hasn't got here yet. We're still waiting for that water to come up, but you can bet that someone will get washed off there trying to get across at the wrong time and the wrong tide. Big risk of crocodiles in that river as well.
At Kale's Crossing, Matt's fear has turned to reality. Water has risen to a dangerous level, but some have chosen to brave the currents. This driver's miscalculation could cost him his car and his life. With water levels rising fast, locals have little time to salvage the vehicle themselves. The car is wedged too deep for the rescue vehicle. They must think of an alternative quickly. It's a hard lesson for everyone. In the next episode, the monsoon finally makes a grand appearance.
Here it comes, magic time of year.
The rains bring comfort and relief to the top end. But it could also mean disaster for the stranded.
Yeah, where's your location and which track's got the trees across it?
For the Rangers, it's the start of another busy season.